Hey everyone, welcome back to the North American LCS Summer Split. We're here at the end of week 2, day 1. An amazing day of games right now. Rivington III joined by Patoy and Cutie Pie in the interview lounge. Guys, congratulations on the win. And we'll just start off, Patoy. First question, what was different coming into this game against Coast than last week?
We picked up a few more champions. Like I picked up Thresh. I still kind of suck on him, but it's good enough right now. So played that, and we did a role swap with Kiwi on TF, and it turned out pretty nice in scrim. So we just decided to do it, and we went with we just did our usual stuff. We just see how they play the game at level 1. Their common picks and lane swaps, and we just played accordingly.
And the next few questions kind of revolve around that role swap. You know, what is it now? Scar, Kiwi Kid, it was Jace Kha'Zix, now TF and these guys kind of switching it around. Is this just comfortability for Dignitas coming out? What is the idea behind this for you guys?
We always do a few role swaps. Like in Season 2, towards the end of World Finals, we had this strat where we just like role swapped everyone. Like I was basically a second jungler. Scar was playing like Darius top and weird stuff like that. And then like we thought we were onto something back then, and we're just like doing it now, and it's turning out pretty nice.
And with those role swaps, you know, Kiwi Kid, he used to play mid, so it's not too big of a thing for him to play TF. But you said yourself picking up Thresh now. When do you feel comfortable? How long is that time to pick up a champion to play professionally in the LCS?
This is just my own personal thing. I'm actually really slow at learning champions, so it takes me a lot more time than everyone else because I just hold like a higher level of like play for myself compared to like some other people. So I put in a little bit more time before I throw it in competitive play. So right now it's just good enough.
And actually that leads perfectly into the next question for you, Cutie, because it has been a little bit more of you putting forth in solo queue. You got yourself into Challenger. You've just been using Draven a lot more and really fine-tuning all of your mechanics that you would put into the game. Where does this come from, and what's been the motivation behind that to just better yourself now?
I don't know, just like recently we haven't been doing too well, so I honestly like think that it's my fault because like I feel like I'm a good enough player that the rest of my team doesn't matter. I should be able to like win the game solo. I don't know if that's an awful mentality to have or not, but it's like I just have to get better. I have to carry.
Right on. And Cutie, you know, coming into the last Coast game and some of the games for Dig, you guys have had a little bit of a hard time closing things out. What are you doing to remedy that? And it was able to work this time. So what's the idea, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, mostly it's just like the role swaps, the TF helps to like close out games because it's like we have a global ganker, so it's kind of easy to get picks. Lee Sin really does help with the kick and just like picks in general just to get easier kills.
Right on. And Patoy, 2 more questions for you guys. What are your overall thoughts on the split so far? Last time in the split, it was, you know, Dignitas, Curse, TSM all at the top, and things have been swapped around. What do you feel about the LCS this summer split?
It's what I expected would happen. The previous bottom 4 teams and the 2 new teams are like now the top 4. And don't get me wrong, they're good, but I think that the old top 4 teams just throw and make a lot of stupid decisions and choke a lot more than the new teams. So right now
it's pretty bad, but I don't think it's that bad. Like,
it's pretty bad.
Yeah, you just have to give us time to like figure out like what the new teams are doing, like just figure out the game more because they've been like fighting for this. They've been like trying their hardest, and we're just like chilling here. So yeah.
All right, and final question for you guys, either of you. You know, the 3.8 patch coming out, it's going to kind of rustle things up. How does Dignitas feel about, you know, changes in the game as they come up? Is it a team that embraces them, or are you guys kind of a catch-up and you figuring out what to do?
Well, in 3.8, we're going to do double jungle, and I'm going to take every single buff. That's pretty much it.
Hey, buddy, don't tell the strat.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Congratulations on the win. Cutie Pie and Patoy, thank you for the interview. Guys, there's been some amazing games today. If not the time of the wins, the action within the games were absolutely amazing. And we're going to review that with Kobe. He's got 2 replays for us before we end the day.
All right, thank you, Riv. I've got a couple of first bloods here for you guys. The first one, this is really where Vulcan just took command of the game. This is a dive gone wrong for Curse right now. So the plan for them right now, they're doing the right thing. You shove in the minion wave so that the turrets are going to be attacking the minions for the beginning of this, and then you get into position, you circle around your prey, and you corner them. So they all get into position before they get tower aggro. And you get tower aggro at the very last second once everybody's in position, and you burst one target down. All right, so let's start the clip off here. They're going to work their way in, and this is exactly what you need to know. They're going to go for Zuna right now, but watch this beautiful hop. Pause it here. So that's Zuna. He made one escape with his rocket jump to get to this point. At this point, he's got two choices. He can either leave his support behind for dead or go back into the turret and try and continue this fight 2 versus 3 and utilize that tower damage to make Curse pay for this dive. And the reason he's going to actually go back in towards the turret is because up here in the mid lane, we've got a Malphite with no mana, not level 6, and then we've got Mandatory Cloud on Jace, already got all of his abilities, so he can start roaming down, and the clock is really going to be working against Curse at this point. Every second that they waste, Jace gets closer, and he could execute them. So let's continue this clip out. Here goes Zuna. He uses Flash and Barrier. Bloodwater still has his Flash, so all of the summoners were still up for these guys, and they survived. Now, Curse are all on the run, and that Jace we talked about is roaming down the river looking for him. So let's speed up this clip to another double speed here, and we can see them. All that's really left is for them to chase down Cop. Zuna goes for the hop. Here comes Mandatory Cloud, going to get the last shot in. He does ask very nicely if he can take the kill first from Zuna, and Zuna says, yes, go for it. We definitely want that first blood. The second clip we have here is another first blood from the other game. I really like this one because it's some interesting play from Kiwi Kid here. So it starts out normal. Let's play this clip here. They're just going to bully Zion because they got a great hook. Plenty of damage going to go down to him. They would dive it if he didn't have flash, but he does. So this is going to be a turret for them. Look at Kiwi Kid, though. He's got 3 people, and he got into position for the teleport on TF. Gets the kill, but pause it here. Now, he's got 2 choices. He's gone very deep. He knows that there are 2 members coming down for him because there's actually a minion here that's right next to Blitzcrank, giving Kiwi Kid vision of Blitzcrank coming down. So he knows there's 3 people coming to corner him in the jungle. He can try and make some loopy escape over here. Not going to go for that. He's going to use his ARAM skills, go for the execute. Let's finish this clip out, and we can see, play the clip again, there we go. And we can see they're just going to take the turret, and it actually gives Cutie a free escape as well. Kiwi Kid going for that execute, which we see so much on the ARAM map, but we don't see it a lot in Summoner's Rift. It's these few situations where people are not in experience range and not in range to get that gold when you actually do want to get the execute on Summoner's Rift. So with that said, let's send it back to the guys at the desk.
Thanks very much, Kobe. So let's see how today's games have been affected, how today's games have actually affected the standings. Even after their loss today, Cloud9 is still on top with a 5-1 record, while TSM and Vulcan are tied for second at 4-2.
Tied for 4th place are CLG, Dignitas, and Team Coast at 3-3, while Curse and Velocity remain at the bottom of the standings with 1-5 records.
So guys, coming up Friday, week 2 of the European LCS kicks off live from Moscow, Russia.
EU's broadcast day starts with the first regional CIS championship matchup between the challenger teams Instruments of Surrender and Only Gragas.
And the winner of the CIS championships earns a spot in the International Wildcard Tournament that will take place during this year's Gamescom, and gets a shot at making it to this fall's Season 3 World Championships. Then, after the challengers' best of 3 wraps up, it's time for the professionals to hit the Rift in 3 European LCS games.
The action begins with Ninjas in Pajamas taking on Fnatic, then Evil Geniuses will face off against Meet Your Makers, and the undefeated Team Alternate will take on Moscow's favorite, Gambit Gaming.
That all starts Friday at 3 a.m. Pacific and 12 p.m. Central European Summertime, live from the MDM Palace in Moscow, Russia. And later on Friday, we have 4 more games here in North America. That action starts first with Cloud9 taking on the Red Hot Vulcan.
After that, TSM will battle CLG, Velocity faces off against Team Coast, and Curse takes on Dignitas to close out the day.
The North American LCS begins Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific and Saturday at 12 a.m. Central European Summertime. And that does it for today's broadcast. But for myself, Jap, Riv, Kobe, and the entire live broadcast crew, GG, thanks for watching. Are y'all gonna do this?
Lulu's still mid. I'm coming mid right now.
Really just decided to go for this. Dragon very low. Meteo's not able to get it. Big Fat steals away the Dragon from outside.
Got one. Good job. Nice.
That's it, son! That's it!
Okay, that's good.
Oh, that cell division, such a strong. Oh, oh God!